So this is Brandywine here from the tri-pack of the American Battle of the American Revolution. So we have here is the American setup because the British come in and attack. So the big river there is Brandywine Creek. The map is very different from a little bit of different graphics. So the Americans are all right here. And I haven't really played this one, so we'll see how things go in a first playthrough. The interesting I've noticed is the terrain effects chart doesn't list the marsh on it, but all the other games is basically prohibited areas, so we'll just use that. We have Washington up here, but the main objectives for the British is to take that hex and that hex there in the main game here. So they come in here, over here, those little red entry points. And yeah, there's one right over here. And the interesting thing too is in the rules on this thing is the American player can't be on the other side of this river or run. It runs from the creek, except this unit here. And this entry here, C. So the Americans have to be on this side of the map. They're kind of stuck in this area for a while until they're released. So the British have to see how they can penetrate, basically, plow through all these units to here. And the American player is to basically kill more British units, basically more than they lose. And so it's basically a little slugfight with the British got their objectives. And the American player is basically preventing as well as he can. So this is the end of turn 1, Brandywine. So the British came in here at A, took out, captured the militia unit, basically surrounded, but also fired, caused the guy to retreat. Americans are holding up on that corner. And I was thinking the British might be able to push these units over and try to pin down these guys possibly as a force. And then I was thinking the British will try to cross here. Either this force will attack here, but also could do an end run around this road up along here and come up the rear. A unit or two. Let's see if that can force the Americans to split their force, but they're kind of stuck in a bivouac area that kind of runs basically this dotted line right around here, up and around here. So they're stuck in this area until released. So how long it would take the British to do sending a force along this road up around, but also reinforcements come along this road here for the British, possibly the American too. and down here for the Americans. So see what happens if I do that. It kind of split the forces, or have this British force cross here, push along here, and then have this force, after pushing these guys out, go kind of meet the two forces on the other side of the creek. And so basically the Americans just want to stop it. That's the idea so far. So this is the end of turn 2. So the British have forced over this ford. Brighton's ford. And they've did some attacks here to push the Americans off the hill. Slowly, but through the fighting, the British have really knocked down the morale a little bit for the Americans. And on to turn 3. So this is the end of turn 3. The British over here is making fine progress, and they're basically decimating the detachment that's over here, and it's causing the morale of the Americans to drop significantly. But over here, the British crossed the ford here, attacked the line here, and got beaten back due to poor die rolls. Because these attacks were like 4-1 or higher. But over here, they're doing quite well. Captured some units by cutting off retreats. But it's going to be a bit of a slog trying to get across the Brandywine Creek there. The artillery here is moving up. I was thinking of putting them along the ridgeline to shoot down, but how effective that is, probably not really. But we shall see. And then on. So this is the end of turn 4. The British were able to push more up to the Brandywine Creek, lowering the morale of the Americans down to 8. And British moving up here to this ford. They did some fighting here. The Americans tried to attack, but got pushed back. And lost a few units, been captured. Actually, those are the units lost for the Americans and British. Hopefully I can get guys rallied to get the morale back up, but we shall see in turn 5. So this is the end of turn 5. As you can see, the British have pushed over the Brandywine Creek and pushed over this ford, and moving up along the creek here. Kind of stalemated right here on this ford, but the Americans are holding here, but their morale is wavering, getting down to wavering just by fighting. The few counterattacks the Americans have been able to do haven't dented the morale of the British. And the worrisome part is the British are going to be coming over here soon and basically flanking the entire American position. And so I gotta figure out what the Americans can do to boost their morale, or they're going to be knocked out by a few battles and loss of units, which they have done. Lost quite a few to the British one. So on to turn 6. So this is the end of turn 6. British are moving up their reinforcements there. The Americans are shifting over. They tried to do an attack here against the 40th and failed, retreated back. The Rifles, on the other hand, took out a unit that was captured because it couldn't retreat due to zones of control and stacking limits. So that was good for the Americans. But over here kind of failed attacks trying to get these guys over here that cross the river. Actually got a unit captured, rolling extremely poor. Gave a momentum to the British player and their choice of captured unit. So they took the bigger one. But green over here pushed a unit back on the ridgeline here. So, but still the American morale is quite fatigued at this time. British are still high, so it's getting problematic. We got 6 more turns to go. But the British are nowhere near to their victory points at this point. But it's more likely can demoralize the Americans quicker than actually getting to the objectives. So so that's their plan, is just attack as much as possible to wear them down. And the Americans are trying to figure out how to best play them. Their units are pretty weak. See how things go. So this is the end of turn 7. The British are coming in over here on the map and pushing up against the open flank. But the British are pushing slowly back through these battles and really knocking the morale down on the Americans rapidly. I guess I'm not playing the Americans all that well, trying to stand up against the British, which are much powerful units. So it's not looking good for the American player per se, and also rolling pretty poorly a couple times. So it was really, at key moments, really affected the American side. So on to turn 8. So the British were able to get a double turn because they went on the bottom of the turn 7 and the top of turn 8, and basically through a few combat attacks up here and some shooting, rolled well, got more demoralization and killed a couple of units and dropped it all the way to demoralization. So that ended the game. Interesting game here. Probably have to play it a few more times to get some real ideas of how to play it. Because it's kind of a bit problematic for the Americans. Or I just completely played it wrong. So this one is a